Hi, I'm Dr. Ryan Maercks, and thanks for tuning in to my video blog. In just 2 weeks, we're fortunate enough to have about 30,000 viewers, which is quite a surprise, but I'm glad to know that people are interested. For those of you tuning in for the first time, this is a video blog where I demonstrate a treatment I call Maercks Multimodal Therapy, or MMT, which is a multiple technology and energy delivery system that allows skin tightening, cellulite reduction, and fat reduction. What I've done is I've treated the right side of my body alone and left the left side of my body untreated. As you'll see in the previous video blogs, there's an immediate and somewhat impressive change to the right side of my body. What you'll see today in the examination is much more impressive. There's one thing I've noticed that I didn't really account for in planning this experiment, and that is that the right side of my body and the left side of my body, of course, are not separate and independent of each other. So what I've noticed is that both sides have an improved appearance. The right side has a much greatly improved appearance, and the left side has slightly improved appearance because the right side of my body is pulling on the left side of my body. And I'll show you in the exam that my umbilicus, my belly button, has now migrated from midline to the right side of my body and is distorted, which is a testament to the efficacy of MMT. It takes quite some force to get it back to the center, and it's not a problem. I'll be able to correct this after I'm done with this six-week blog, but for the time being, I'm going to let my belly button distort, move that way, show you those findings. And the other exciting thing that you'll see today, and you'll see more impressive as the weeks go by, is that the right side of my body has almost no cellulite appearance, while the left side of my body has some cellulite appearance. And in comparison, I look like a little bit of a chubby guy on the left and a little more ripped or toned on the right. You'll see a lot of my lower abdominal musculature shining through that wasn't a week ago. And you'll see just generally a nicer appearance of my skin, more definition of my pectoralis, and an almost completely disappeared lateral fat pocket and a greatly reduced central fat pocket here. So without further ado, we'll go to the exam. I'd like to thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Again, any questions or comments, we welcome by email, Facebook, Twitter, whatever means you want to contact the practice, and we take to heart. Today we're filming in high definition with a professional crew because the previous comments suggested that people really couldn't see exactly what I was talking about with a raw iPhone camera. So today we have high resolution, and you'll see in the exam exactly what I'm talking about. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. So here we are, exactly 20 days after I initiated Maercks Multimodal Therapy, MMT, on the right side of my body. We've had a week 1 update. We kind of missed up on the week 2. This is the 3rd update we're doing, and tomorrow will be 3 weeks. So this is pretty much a 3-week update. And what I'm going to show you again on my own body is the findings and changes to the right side of my body that have not happened to the left side of my body, with one nuance. I'm going to show you that the dramatic skin tightening I've already achieved in half the time of the projected goal. 6 weeks is the projected goal of the effects of Maercks Multimodal Therapy. We're again at 3, half the time. The significant skin tightening has distorted my umbilicus, my belly button. My belly button is now pulled to the right. Along with it, the skin from my left side of my body is pulled and thus has benefited from some tightening. But the results are so dramatic on the right, there's still a big difference. So looking at my abdomen, first thing I want you to notice is the distorted shape of my umbilicus, my belly button. Look at the dramatic force I have to put on it to make it symmetric again. So now it's back to midline with a round shape, but it takes a tremendous amount of force. Watch when I let go. Do it again. So there it's back at midline and round. So this is kind of, if I had tightened both sides of my abdomen at the same time, which I of course do in every patient, this is how my belly button would look, but I haven't. So you see how the forces here of skin tightening are communicated across the midline. You know, my midline's about here. So we're about 1 centimeter off of midline. Now this is going to be corrected when I'm done with the study. I'll obviously tighten this side, but what this also shows you is that I've improved the left side of my body by this tightening being conveyed across the midline. So understanding that, and that it's not really truly completely treated, completely untreated, but understanding that, you'll see that the results are very dramatic. What you'll notice immediately on gross inspection is if you can compare my two sides, I look like a chubby here because it's just gone there. There's a little bit of fat left here, but it's pretty much gone. And look at the show of loose skin and fat over my belt versus here. This is what has earned the unfortunate name muffin top, I believe. But anyway, there's a big chunk of fat here, and more importantly, the cellulite appearance of the skin. You see these ripples, these spots that go throughout here. When I drape my fingers lightly, the rippling cellulite appearance is very evident there. Now if we go to the other side, it is almost gone. When I do this, you see no rippling. There's a tiny bit of laxity left in the skin, but there's no, I can't see any cellulite appearance there compared to here, where the cellulite appearance, you know, it goes all the way almost to midline. You see ripples here, ripples here, ripples here, and this jiggly stuff. You go over here, there's no jiggly stuff, there's no ripples, and if I really want to look for cellulite appearance, I have to go all the way back. There you go. There's a little spot of residual cellulite appearance right up there, but there's nothing here, and this is, you know, this is pretty heavy. I think you can appreciate that when I stroke it. So on the treated side, I maybe have this spot left alone. On this side, it's like, you know, the whole thing has that cellulite appearance. So that's a testament to the skin tightening achieved at only week 3, and we're going to week 6 for the full result. So you can expect something a lot more dramatic. Let's look at the pectoral fold. Now, this pec looks like this pec that's been working out for a couple months because it looks more toned, more defined, and look at this sharp angular fold that we have underneath the pec. This is all, again, cellulite appearance, loose and fatty, and look at this arced, ill-defined circular shape. This is more angular, defined, linear, and you even see this sharp definition of the subpectoral abdominalis showing. Here you see a little bit, but it disappears into fatty, ill definition. And if I lean back and turn, you can see this definition starting to appear. You can see this shadow. Can you see that? If you look here, there's a shadow coming here from the definition, the inferior abdominal definition here. This fat pocket, the border of it really is now just out here. And the top of it is right here. Let's call it like that. Drawing in the mirror is always challenging. So if you compare that to the last update, it's significantly reduced. Now let's look at the borders of this, the contralateral fat pocket, which you can clearly see out here. And going out here. And continuing here. So that's a huge difference. That's very dramatic. Now let's look at the, I'll turn in the light so you can see all views. And you can see that there's some sharp abdominal definition here. So the border of the perceived lateral abdominal border actually is more, I guess it's more right there. And out here. So this is kind of the pattern we're looking at. And if we go over here, well, where's the edge? It's kind of just this ill-defined blob. You can kind of see an edge out here. So you consider that, that's a big change. You do see some shadow here, but there's no sharp line. We have sharp linear definition here. And look at this guy. This guy is just like a solid line there. There you get the hint of it, but it's kind of lost. And then we lose these shadows and cellulite over here.